This is the Bay and Tepe Perspective. I'm Brian Bay.
And I'm Greg Tepe. Welcome to our podcast.
And this week's perspective is on the MLB recap.
Yep. We're about a third way into the season. Figure it'd be a good time to talk a little baseball.
Yep, kind of recap our preview episode a little bit and kind of talk about what's going on these days.
See where we're at now. Especially compare. The thought would be fun to compare it to what we, I guess, predicted based off
what we thought we knew. What we thought we knew a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And what we do know now.
Yeah. So
All
basically kind of to show off how expert / dumbass we are.
Yeah. Mainly expert, but.
Yeah. I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
So, you want to start with recapping some of maybe the AL East, I guess?
Yeah. I figure we dive through the divisions and I guess start off with who we predicted and then what the actual standings are. With the AL East, we both went with the New York Yankees to win the division. That's not panning out thus far. As of June 16th, by the way.
Tis not.
So the actual standings in the AL East is Tampa Bay is leading the division with Boston in second, the Yankees in third, Toronto in fourth, and Baltimore in last.
In the basement. Now,
Yeah.
I do remember I said that I could see the Jays taking it. I was more high on the Jays than the Rays. But
Yes.
you were more high on the Rays than the Jays.
Yes, but not to the point of them being in first place.
No, neither one of us thought they'd be in first.
So I don't know why I don't ever believe the Rays. I mean, weren't they in the World Series did they win it last year? I can't remember, but I never believe in them.
Yeah.
The Yankees to me are the better team on paper, so I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, they are definitely better on paper. The Rays are never good on paper. That's why I don't believe on them.
Yeah, maybe
they
that's
have like
what it
that
is.
small market mentality, and you don't know who the hell they are
And they play in that shitty field.
in a shitty city.
Yeah, I remember always hearing it's in a really bad part of town.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous to have a baseball team in Tampa anyway.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just that small. It's probably what a lot of people think about the Reds most years that aren't from Cincinnati or the Midwest.
right.
You know, just an unknown. You might know one player or two. You know,
Might have a breakout player, and
something like that. You know, like we can name all our players, but you know,
obviously we live here, so
yeah. But people out in Oakland or whatever probably don't know. Outside
Yeah.
of maybe
like
like this
Votto.
year, you know, yeah, Votto and like now Castellanos and maybe Moose, but
Yeah.
like outside of those few.
like who's Jonathan India?
Yeah,
Yeah.
only the greatest second baseman ever eventually, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess since we both went to the Yankees, I will say they are 7 games out
That's
at
rough.
first. Yeah,
That's rough.
yeah, and honestly, to me, they've been playing 500 ball, and that's giving them credit.
Yeah, it just I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah, and I haven't really watched them a ton. I'm not gonna lie, but every time I see highlights, it's a pissed off Aaron Boone.
yeah, like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it's never anything good. So.
No, it's not, and it's frustrating because I didn't really watch a whole lot either. But I do the magnetic board I have at home where I do the standings. And I usually do that Sundays as my hobby, if you will. And that's where I noticed that they're not gaining any ground. They're not really losing ground. Maybe sometimes they lose a little bit, but they've been fluctuating around 500.
Yeah.
It's kind of irritating because I'm like, I thought this was the year, obviously, because I picked them to win the division, as did you.
Mm-hmm.
There was some biasness, but I mean, I truly felt that though. But
And they still could.
Yep.
It's still early enough.
yep, we're
Right.
only midway through June.
Midway. All right, so you want to go on to the Central?
Yes, this one involves the famous pizza bet of 2021.
Jets / Marco's Pizza.
Yes, and in this one, I went with the White Sox. You went with the Twins.
The Twins.
The White Sox are in first place, Brian.
Yes,
The
they
Twins
are.
are in last place.
That they are.
In between, we have Chicago in first, Cleveland in second, Kansas City in third, Detroit in fourth, and Brian's Twins last.
And
So,
I don't know if this is still the record, but Minnesota has 26 wins,
correct.
and Chicago has 43.
Oh, I never even looked at it that way.
Yeah,
That's bad
that is bad.
for you
Yes, for me.
or Minnesota Twins. Now, granted, the one thing that you have, so technically you don't necessarily need Minnesota to win at this point. You know, I mean, there's plenty of baseball where they can, but
Yeah, I just need Chicago not to win.
Bingo. Then neither of us gets pizza. At least not on the other's credit.
Yeah, we just buy our own pizza.
Right. So, but I guess this division's making me look good. So I'm gonna run with it for a second. Where I felt like Chicago had a good year last year, but it was also kind of hard to go off that because it was a COVID season, and it was weird last year.
Yeah.
But I do know Chicago's building up, and they were ahead of schedule last year. So I was kind of going off that momentum, I guess you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I will throw you a bone where listening to the recap episode reminded me of this. I thought this was going to be a 2-team race, and my other team was Minnesota. So that kind of taints my pick a little bit, and we thought it'd make it fun to have a bet. And I also did say I thought Cleveland was going to be bad.
Yeah, you said they were in a complete rebuild.
Yeah.
I did write that quote down.
It must have been a fast rebuild because they're second place.
They built.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but I also, in your defense, didn't think Cleveland would be up there. I thought it would be, if it was going to be a 3-horse race, I thought the third horse was Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I thought Cleveland would be last or second to last down there with Detroit.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking at the last 10.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City's 1-9 in the last 10 games. Minnesota's 4-6 for your team, and Chicago's 8-2. I think Chicago's pulling away.
Do you know what Cleveland is?
7-3.
Okay, so they're still doing pretty well.
Yeah, they're playing well. I think at some point Chicago just pulled away some, and but Cleveland's like pacing them. I feel like right now
because I just looked at Cleveland as sellers in the offseason.
Yeah, I didn't.
I
think it's what I've been reading everywhere too.
With Lindor and they lost a couple pitchers in there.
Yeah.
Was that last year when we got Bauer halfway through the season, or was that the year before?
I think it was the year before.
Year before, because last year was his whole year.
Yeah, that's right. It was the year before.
But still, I was like a pre-sale to the selling. Like when they start selling people like that, I don't think they're going to be good for a couple years, I guess.
They're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And especially since it's pitching and fielding, like Lindor and all that. So it wasn't just like one side's going to suffer. They did both.
Or you just kept your star player and tried to rebuild around them.
Right.
They got rid of both their studs.
Yeah.
So, but I guess their young team is working it right now.
Yeah, they're doing something.
I'm not mad. I don't hate the Indians.
No, I don't either.
I just don't like looking silly in my picks.
Yeah.
And
so I guess to also mention, since I kind of did in the AL with us both picking the Yankees, I won't say how many games back our predictions are. This one, mine's 0 games back because they're first. And the Twins are 16.5 games back.
16.5.
It's bad when you get Brian not to have rebuttal and he just laughs.
It's going to take a hell of a comeback.
Yeah. At least you got Pick'em going for you right now.
Yep. I guess I'm all about the Indians now.
Yeah,
Go Cleveland.
I guess so. Cleveland
or
rocks.
Kansas City, one of the two.
Yeah, because Detroit, I think we both agreed in the prediction one that they didn't really have.
No, I hope Minnesota at least beats them.
They've been going back and forth a little bit, but now Detroit has 29 wins and Minnesota has 26.
Yeah, they're pulling away a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, there's that blunder.
I'm over the Central. You want to go to the West?
Let's do it. So with the West, this one was kind of weird because I felt like when I listened to the recap, or I should say when I recapped the prediction episode,
yeah,
we didn't like. I don't think we were sold on our prediction, but we both went with the Angels.
Yeah, because they're the Angels.
Yeah, and they always look really good on paper. And then Sports Illustrated also said the Angels, so I was like, well, they have Trout, they have Ohani.
Yeah.
Who he's still killing it, but
he's a beast.
Maybe this is the year for the Angels to win the division. We were wrong at this point in the season. So the current standings actually are Oakland, Houston, Seattle, then Los Angeles, Texas. Now my one asterisk, when I listened to our prediction one, on this one I mentioned I could see LA crap in the bed. My exact quote.
You did say that.
And I was like, I could kind of see Oakland because I think I was so against Houston though. I don't want to give myself full credit, but I was like, I could see Oakland doing something.
You said you could see and hoped.
Right, so it wasn't like a true
my
prediction, obviously, but I could see Oakland because I don't see Seattle and Texas is bad.
Yeah, you definitely gave Oakland more credit than I did, for sure.
Right.
I mean, I definitely thought they were better than Seattle or Texas, but I didn't think it was much.
Yeah,
You know, for me, it was definitely a Houston and L.A. division.
Yeah.
And that, to me, was a 2-horse race, and that was it.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I wasn't sure about Houston because of the cheating scandal.
I was wondering if they'd unravel because of that.
Me too. And you can't tell by last year.
No. And they've lost some parts, too, outside of all that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of that team that did win the World Series is gone.
Correct.
So
I was in the same boat, but that, I mean, part of it was hate. The AL West is a weird division to me. It has been for the last, like, 5 years at least.
yeah.
It's just, I don't know what to think from them. Houston was running it there for a while, and then found out they were cheating. That just
And they always just seem periodically good. They never seem playoff good often.
right. It was just those last
Besides,
few
like,
seasons.
I mean, besides when the Astros, went. When else was the West good? Like Texas had a run back years ago.
Yeah,
You know,
like a decade ago.
yeah, like a while ago. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like that's the last time I can remember a team like they might actually win the World Series.
And then besides that,
Like once you get to the playoff point, every year I feel like the Angels could win the World Series, but then they don't. But if I'm talking like once like the last third of the season or the playoffs hit, where I was like, all right, you better watch for Texas,
Yeah,
or you
yeah.
better watch for Houston. Like it's been probably since before Houston was in the AL.
yeah, because didn't the Angels win a World Series like 2001 or some ridiculous
Yeah, like
early
01,
year?
way back, well before Trout.
And besides that, the only time I think it was when Griffey played for Seattle, which that tells you how long ago that was.
Yeah,
And then before that was when Oakland was dominating the late 80s,
yeah,
and they were supposed to beat us in the 1990 World Series.
yeah.
They did not.
We swept
We
wire
did.
to wire.
We did.
But no, I mean, honestly, not ragging on them, but it's just been a while since I can think of a dominant
threat.
team. Yeah, like where they're truly a threat or someone that I thought would come out of the AL to even just represent the American League.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Like that's always been like just a filler division to me.
It is always like the East, and then if it's not the East, it's the West, and by the West, it's usually Cleveland or Chicago.
Yeah,
But
Central, you mean?
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Central.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's one that it's definitely been that lately. Because even Kansas City had that streak for a while.
They won one. Yeah, they
Yeah.
won like a surprise one. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, our prediction, since we both went with the Angels, we're 9 games out.
9 games. So we still have a shot.
And they have been playing better actually lately too. Their last 10 is 6-4, but well, I say that and I look at it, they are on a 3-game losing streak. So
Okay.
last week they were catching fire a little bit.
Trying to see any word when Trout comes back, or is he?
I don't know. I have not heard any timetable on when Trout will be back. I feel like it's been a while now since he did get injured, so maybe soonish.
I'm trying to see if I can find something real quick.
All right, yeah, I'm not too sure, but I do know while you're
It
looking.
says
that
he's
up.
unlikely to play in the 2021 All-Star game.
Okay,
That seems obvious.
yeah. That's a
Right.
little under a month away now.
Has been sidelined since the 17th. Remains unlikely for the All-Star game. Timetable is probably at least another month. And this was written yesterday.
So they're looking possibly shortly after the All-Star break.
Yeah. So if they can hang in there,
Yeah,
at least until he comes back, they'll have maybe a legit shot.
yeah. I'll say at least give him a shot.
Yeah.
I'm not confident in that pick anymore.
No,
myself,
and I'm not
but-
saying he's going to be a 6-game swing on his own, but
Correct.
if anybody is, it's Mike Trout.
Well, and then team him up with Ohtani. I really like Ohtani.
Oh, yeah, Otani's what I'm saying. To me, Trout's still the best player in baseball.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if you can get back to the best player in baseball mid-season, look at it as a mid-season acquisition. If you can get,
Yeah, and turn the team around.
yeah, if you can hang in there without the best player in baseball and then you acquire him at the All-Star break.
Along with the best pitcher.
Yeah.
It's I know we talked about it in the preview episode, but it's still weird to me that he's the greatest player in baseball, but I never watch Angels games. But that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, no. I don't watch a lot of West Coast games, I guess, if it's not NL teams.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing, especially this division like we talked about before.
Yeah.
It's a random division to us. But yeah,
So,
we're wrong on that one so far.
Yes, we are. So the A's were a surprise for me, for sure. I didn't think they'd be up there, but
Yeah,
good for them. I hope they do, though.
I like seeing them up there.
Out of them, that's who I'm rooting for out of there.
Me too.
Even though I don't hate the Angels, but
Yeah.
just they haven't done it in a while.
And mine has nothing to do with predictions in general. It's just the fact that I like seeing the Athletics do it. Just to change it up a little bit.
So that's our AL wrap.
Yep, that's the AL wrap. So,
You want to talk about our playoff prediction for the AL then?
I mean, do I want to? And do I think we should? That's two different things. But
True.
we went with the Yankees. I'll just straight up say it.
We did go with the Yankees. I have a couple quotes, though, from us.
Oh, gosh.
One thing you said, you think the Yanks have a better shot than the Reds. Is that something you still think? I know we haven't gone over the NL yet, but just like a quick yes or no on that.
My gut telling me at this instant moment, no, but the upswing, the Yankees still have that huge upswing.
Yeah, you still think it's closer than it.
It's closer.
Okay. And then I said, okay, so I said the Yanks would be over the White Sox to get into it, though. So,
yeah, you did
Yeah,
say
my
that.
prediction for the AL CS was Yanks White Sox, I guess, and I went Yanks.
How you feel about that?
A lot less confident.
Yeah.
And that's twofold. It's the Yankees not doing well and the White Sox doing better than I anticipated.
That's how I feel.
So, La Russa's got them boys rolling better than I thought he would.
Yeah, the South Side's loving it right now.
So, actually, I thought he'd be a hindrance to the team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I just thought he was too old.
Too old school.
Yeah, and just,
old.
but maybe that's what they needed. I don't know.
Something's-
Apparently, what they needed. So,
Yeah, something's working there.
but no, yeah. Now I could see the White Sox. I could see the White Sox being the representation.
Yeah, I mean,
I can see Oakland.
I can see, and then I can see Tampa Bay throwing a wrench and everything. I'll just say it because
Yeah.
I always go against them and I don't buy into it. But
No,
at this rate, I can see them stirring things up.
and they like to throw wrenches into things because every time they win, it's not usually when you think so.
Exactly.
You know, like when they first came about, when they like the Evan Longoria days and all that.
Yeah.
They had more studs.
Yep.
Where you kind of expected them to do that, but with that said, they were always third or fourth best because back then the Yankees were the big dog. The Red Sox had a lot of dogs. Even Toronto had some dogs. So it's like,
Yes.
to me, when Tampa Bay was at their peak, at their best, they had too much to overcome to do it.
Right.
So then they finally snuck in there a couple years ago or last year, whenever it was that they won,
Yeah.
with a basically no-name team to just kind of, a small market, your classic small market team.
Yeah. Which I
Is it-
like that as being a small
Yeah.
market city ourselves, but it's that's an interesting point because like back when they had all those studs, the Yankees and the Red Sox were even better.
Yeah, it's like that's when they did spend money or what little money they had, but they went for it.
Yeah.
Plus developed also because they had Price as a pitcher when he was
Yeah.
going well. Longoria, I think, was one of their guys too. But I know they added some pieces around there and still had some studs on like a cheap contract.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what's weird because so fast forward to 2021, I still think the Yankees have a better team on paper.
Yeah.
But they're not proving it. The Red Sox surprised me, not to get back into the AL East for a second, but the Red Sox surprised me because they didn't really do anything in the offseason.
no, that's what Sports Illustrated said too.
Mm-hmm.
And I agreed with them, that they hadn't done enough to, they didn't like blow anything more up, but they blew it up so much the year before that
Yeah.
I thought they were toast.
Do you think the Red Sox could throw a wrench in everything then, based off of the season at this point?
I can't say I'd bet against them,
Yeah.
but I'm probably more confident in Tampa Bay than them.
Me too. If we had done this a month ago, I might give Boston even more of a nod, but I feel like I didn't follow them fully.
They've seemed to taper off a bit.
Yeah, they seem exactly where Tampa Bay seems to be catching fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like,
But today is only June, so
yeah, and there's a lot of baseball left, but I think as of this point, Chicago looks like the favorite to me.
yeah. And I want to pick Oakland, but I guess since I picked the White Sox to go to the championship series, I may as well say that if I have to pick a new team, not the Yankees, I guess I should go Chicago.
I mean, Oakland would not be back because looking at the standings here, they
Yeah.
are 43-27, and the White Sox are 43-25.
Yeah. And
So-
a lot of it depends on matchup too.
Oh yeah,
You know, it just depends when they have to match up with each other or who matches up with whom when, and
Yeah, and then you got ballparks and all that. Who has
all
the home
that
field.
weather.
Weather. Yeah, because obviously Chicago's going to be a lot different than Oakland that time of year.
And who has to squeeze in as a wild card or not.
Yeah.
Because, the White Sox are hot now, but Cleveland might win the division, and then the White Sox has to be a wild card, and then they have to play someone.
Yeah, they can really shake things up.
Yeah.
We've seen that plenty of times in baseball playoffs.
Sometimes it's harder to beat the wild card in that one game, especially if they're a team coming in hot.
That's what's scary. Not to jump forward, but like the wild card, it's one game.
Mm-hmm.
You can easily
One
be
game,
like,
dude.
boom.
So, for example, what if say the Indians squeeze it out and win the division?
Yeah.
And the Yankees get hot, and now it's Yankees-White Sox in the wild card.
Right.
That could pin the White Sox, because White Sox have been good all year.
Yeah.
But say they're 7-3 in their last 10, not bad. But say the Yankees are on a 10-game winning streak going into that thing. They're red hot. Yeah, they clicked at the right time. They're red hot. They're rolling in. That's a dangerous team.
Yeah.
And
just as frustrating, though, the Yankees could be red hot. They have a cooler game against the White Sox and
shit
lose.
the bed.
So, from that side, I'm like, no, they're
could be either way. Yeah,
the hottest team, but the Chicago's been the most consistent team, and it's like,
and just is the better team, maybe.
Right.
So they win it. They just happen to lose the tiebreaker to Cleveland for the division, or lose by half game, or whatever the case may be.
I think
if they do, it's just an example, hypothetical.
That's what makes the wild card situation exciting to me. Then, like as we're talking about now, like, that. I mean, if I'm on the wrong side of it, I'm pissed. But it's a game 7 on the first game. Like, oh crap, we gotta win this.
Yeah, and I didn't fully care for it at first, but now I do.
Yeah,
it's grown on me.
Same here
over the years. So that one I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But all right, you want to roll into the National League? Are we ready for that?
Let's do it. Go ahead and start with the East.
East.
So in this one, again, we both went with Atlanta.
Hotlanta, ATL.
Yes. The actual standings, my friends, are the New York Mets in first. Then we have Philadelphia in second. Atlanta is in third. Washington in fourth. Miami last. So it's mimicking the AL East. Our prediction was third in that one as well.
And I want to put myself on blast.
Yes, my favorite. Yeah.
My quote that I got from listening back, I said that Atlanta would not only win the East, they would easily win the East.
Oh, easily.
Easily.
You hear that, Mets fans?
No issues. The Mets were nothing.
Yeah, you're harder on the Mets than I am, for sure.
I ripped them.
Yeah.
I am not going to lie. I ripped them. I ripped Philly.
Yeah, I remember you ripping
Philly. I said
Philly.
Washington was a maybe at best.
They're fourth.
Yeah.
And then Miami, I don't think either of us are surprised in Miami.
No. But yeah, I said Washington was a maybe at best. Atlanta was going to win easily. And it's still only, it's a tight race. So I'm not necessarily wrong, but the easily part is kind of not there anymore.
Yeah. I'll say it now. Atlanta's 7 games back. So
yeah,
it's June, mid-June.
Yeah, but
that's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing, but you're not going to easily win it.
No, that part, no. I'm
easily part's gone.
I am surprised that Atlanta is struggling like they are, though.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be a lot better.
And they kind of been turning it on. What are they in their last 10? Did you mention that yet?
Not yet, but they're 4-6 on a 1-game losing streak.
Okay, so a bad example. I think as of 2 days ago, they were a little better.
I think it was like my example with Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's like I heard they're doing good, and then now we're talking about it. It's like, oh, they must be slumping again.
Yeah.
Because I felt like before I read that, I was with you. I'm like, the Braves, I think, have been turning it on.
Yeah.
There's another team that's hovering around 500, like the Yankees. There's like they win some, then they lose some. There's like guys,
and they can't quite catch fire.
Yeah, and I don't understand why not.
It's baseball, man.
It is. That's why predicting. That's why you play the game, actually.
Yep.
That's why you play the game. Mm-hmm. Like, we can try to predict this stuff.
And even to get away from 500, say you're not, unless you go on a full outright winning streak.
Yeah.
Winning 2 out of every 3 games, it takes time.
Yeah, you have to build it up.
I'm saying, especially if you go 4 or 5 games under.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to, for every 2 you win, you're losing 1. So you're about, you're still winning series, but it takes.
Oh, and that's where you hope that the other teams in your division is
They're also losing.
They're losing the series. Yeah, that's the fastest way to obviously to catch up.
Yeah, I noticed in baseball, at least for my fandom part, is I'll chase a record before I chase a team.
Yeah.
If you know, like the Reds are my team or the Yankees are my team. If they're 5 games under 500, I strive to get to 500. I root for 500. I don't even care how many games back we are.
Well, we did that.
I don't score more to watch that with the Reds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, baseball is interesting with that, where I feel like, take football, for example, you chase the team more.
Yes.
Granted, the record, it's the same thing. It's just how your mental state is with it.
Well, it's a shorter season, so it's harder to...
Oh, yeah.
You know, of course you want to get to 500, but it doesn't matter. If you win the division with 6 wins, 7 wins, or 8 wins, I don't give a shit as long as you win the division. And I don't give a shit in baseball either, but it's harder to win the division at 500. I wouldn't say harder than football, but like...
It kind of is.
Kind of is, yeah.
It kind of is, because baseball, you have so many games. So if you're, I can't. I mean, maybe it's happened. I can't think of a sub 500 team that's won their division to go to the playoffs in baseball.
No. Not to win the division.
To indirectly,
and then if the team you're chasing is 10 games above 500 and you're 5 below,
right?
That just seems insurmountable. You know, that's
sure does.
A big flip you got to make.
That's how I'm like I'm in the long way agreeing with you.
Yeah,
it's basically like baseball. You have a different mindset, and I'm like you. Like I look to see, all right, we're below 500. Let's get to 500. All right, we're at 500. Let's get on the other side of 500. Obviously, right?
Yeah, let's get to 2 or 3 games above 500.
Then we start getting to a point where I'm like, all right, how many games back?
Now how many games? Yeah, once you get to 2, 3 games above, then I'm like, all right, we're a little more securely above 500.
Correct.
Let's see what we got to do to win this division now.
Exactly.
So, and hopefully you're not 9 games out still.
Gosh,
I know. Hopefully you're not playing one of those teams.
I know.
Or chasing one of those teams. Then you might start eyeballing just that wild card and trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But all right. So East, it was Atlanta.
Yep. And we're both at the moment wrong, but got a while.
Also, I want to remind everyone that you had thought that Harper played for the Nationals.
Oh, I knew it was a brain fart. I even said it in that episode. Like I knew he played.
I don't recollect the part where you admitted that you were wrong.
Oh, I did.
I'm sure it was in there.
Yeah, brain fart.
Oh, that was hilarious. All right. So, do you want to go to the Central or the West? Would you like to end with the Reds?
Yeah, let's go to the West, and then we'll go to the Central because the Reds are in the Central.
Because of the Redlegs.
Yeah. So
of Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. The oldest professional baseball team.
The original.
But anyways, we're not on the Central now. We're going to the West.
The West.
We're going to the West Coast.
The home of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I think Kevin's Arizona Diamondbacks?
Kevin loves the Arizona Diamondbacks and their 21-game road losing streak.
Check out our pick'em videos that we post every week, and you'll understand why.
Yes.
So with the West, after listening to our preview episode, this one's more clear than the West of the AL, but not super clear like some of these. But I think from what I gathered, we both went with the Dodgers in this one.
We did do Dodgers.
So we both went with the Dodgers, and the actual standings right now is first place is San Francisco. Second place is the Dodgers. Third place is Padres. Fourth place is Colorado. Fifth place is Kevin's Arizona Diamondbacks.
Kevin's D-backs.
I'm just going to go ahead and stay how many games back we are now because it's going to add to the conversation. The Dodgers are 1 game back.
1 game.
So it's not like we're far off from this one.
No.
Now I'm shocked with the Giants. So that one definitely surprised me. Especially since we felt like it was, I think if I remember right, we thought it was a 2-horse race.
Yes, and not the Giants.
Because I know it was the Padres. I know Padres and Dodgers.
Because my notes actually say Giants, LOL.
Oops.
We were wrong.
Yeah.
We were wrong.
They surprised me, though. I think it surprised a lot of people. At least a lot of people I've talked to about baseball. Like, where did these guys come from?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, out of nowhere. I don't know anything. I do not know where they came from.
Yeah, I don't
I
either.
thought they were going to be shitting the bed down there. Actually, I think at some point I may have said I think Colorado is going to be better.
Yeah.
You know, like, I did not think San Francisco was going to be shit this year, and they're in first place.
Yeah.
You did say Padres are a really good team, which you were correct.
Yes.
On that, even though they're in third, but that was one of your quotes. I think I was less high on the Padres.
Well, and with the Padres, in their last 10 games, they're 2-8 right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. They're on a 3-game losing streak.
A little slumpage.
I believe they had a East Coast run for a while. They're in New York for the Mets.
And maybe that affects them.
Yeah.
I mean, the West Coast affects the Reds a lot.
Exactly.
So it could easily be, I don't keep track of them, so maybe they always struggle in the East. How the Reds traditionally struggle in the West. Maybe they traditionally struggle in the East. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just reaching for them. I really don't know.
No. I'm not worried about them, though.
Nah.
I just feel like it's a 3-team race now, I have to admit, a 3-horse race.
It definitely is. Because I was going to say, back to the Giants, I remember we played the Giants, or we being the Reds, played the Giants early in the season. And I remember being like, I think they swept us even or something. And I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, the Giants are garbage.
Yeah.
And
speaking of the trash-ass Diamondbacks, they had beat us up, too.
Dude, I know.
I'm not going to lie. They was it 2 out of 3, I think, but they beat us up.
They sure did.
And
they did again, I thought, when they came here.
And again, when they came here, yeah. They beat us up.
I do want to mention, even though neither of us picked Arizona, but they're the worst team in the all of MLB. And within their division, they're 22.5 games back.
Jesus Christ.
22.5 games.
What's he, 2.5?
Mid-June, 22.5.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but a 21 road game losing streak.
Oh, no.
21 games on the road they've lost. That is wild.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like...
The last one they won was probably against our asses.
I was about to say, was it against us?
I don't know that, but I feel like it might be now that we're talking about that.
I didn't expect them to be good, but...
And last night they blew a 7-run lead versus San Francisco.
7-run lead.
And it was 7-run lead in the 7th or something, or 8th. It was late in the game.
That is...
It wasn't a 7-run lead in the 3rd.
Right. That's ridiculously horrible.
They had 2-3 innings left, and I know they gave up a grand slam. And then it all unraveled and went to shit.
I think they have a... I don't know. This is just me thinking. I think their bullpen... Alrighty. Sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties there, but I think we're good to go. I think we have some Arizona spies here. They didn't want me saying, but I think their bullpen is pretty bad. It's just an opinion. I don't know. I have no facts to prove that. It's just I felt like I heard that earlier in the year, like when we were playing them. But the fact that they gave up a 7-run lead that late kind of proves my theory.
No, I'll say 2 things. One, that was Kevin. I guarantee that was Kevin tapping into our podcast.
Oh, yes. The ultimate Arizona Diamondbacks fan.
He's an ITT Tech guy, right?
Yeah.
So he Diamondbacked us. We'll call it that.
Yeah. We'll blame him either way.
Blame Kevin. But 2, no. Yeah, so one thing I did see, now I don't want to defend Arizona at all.
Yeah.
But I did see when the pitch before they gave up the grand slam, the ump made him switch the glove.
Oh. Okay.
And then literally the next pitch went into the water, into the San Francisco Bay for a salami, for a grand old salami.
Yeah, so.
But that doesn't defend their probably trash bullpen that they probably do have.
Yeah, but in last night's scenario, though, something messed that up.
Yeah, but they went to shit quick.
Man.
So
I still can't believe giving up 7 games. Or 7 runs.
7 runs.
That late.
Late. Real quick. Could have broke that losing streak.
Right?
Jesus. All right, are you ready to flow to the Central?
Yeah. Well, before we flow into Central, I just want one last jab. Arizona's lost 12 in a row. I want to say that.
Oh, they have.
Yep. So.
I forgot about that.
Now we get to the Central. I wanted to say that.
Yeah, Kevin needs to know.
He needs to know. Education. The Central. So this one was interesting because my prediction was Milwaukee.
Milwaukee Brewers.
Brian's was not Pittsburgh.
Not Pittsburgh.
So
no, I did say Cardinals or Cubs I could see. My biggest defense against the Reds is that SI had them 10 or 14 games or something under 500, and I was like, I know that's not right.
Yeah,
I don't want to be too big of a homer and say, the Reds are going to win it.
Yeah.
But I knew that wasn't right. To me, it was at least a 3-horse race.
Yeah. Well, I mean, your prediction is, we're both right, actually, in a weird way.
Yeah.
I'm not right as of now because Milwaukee's now second.
Yeah, and I'm not right because the Cardinals, I probably would have gave them the nod over the Cubs.
Right. So the current standings is Chicago, Milwaukee, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Pittsburgh. So this one's the tightest division. The top 4 teams are within 3 games.
All within 3 games,
Yep. So
none of us are wrong technically, but
no. I just thought it was funny when I re-listened to it because it's been a while since I listened to the episode, and you're just like, well, not Pittsburgh. I'm like, and I rewound it. I'm like, but who did I miss it? You're like,
nope,
not Pittsburgh.
Not Pittsburgh.
I'm like, all right, well, and then get why you said it. Like, I'm being funny, but at the same time, to give you credit, you're right as far as like this is the tightest division. I mean, Pittsburgh fell out obviously, which we expected. You said not Pittsburgh. Everyone else within 3 games. That's not bad.
No, and I knew the Reds would be better than what they were giving them credit for. So
yeah, I don't know what their deal is with the Reds. They seem to hate Cincinnati teams.
Oh, they always hate. Everybody does.
True. But like since I get the Sports Illustrated, because I like reading the preview episode or issues.
Yeah,
it's like the Reds, what you just said, and then when I get to the Bengals, even the years are right on the Bengals. I'll give them that. There's some years like okay, but screw you guys.
And I haven't gotten it for years, but I remember the college basketball preview. They'd always underrate UC.
Yep.
They'd always give them like a 13 seed or a 14 seed when they're like 5th in the country. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
And you're like, well, this team, yeah.
Well, they lost to them, so they're trash.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
It's annoying.
But I digress.
We did go with Sports Illustrated on our preview because that was our source that we had in front of us.
And we probably will again next year.
Yes. Because it's just something to go off of. So,
correct.
Back to what you're saying, I thought the Reds were going to be better than we were given credit for as well. And luckily, the Reds are actually the hottest team in baseball right now.
They are the hottest team in baseball. And a lot of that is because of obviously their hitting.
Yeah.
They've been on fire. They have 2 of the best hitters. Winker has been a stud.
Dude, yeah, he
that
has.
I did not fully see coming.
No, I think we even mentioned that maybe.
They say, for a while, they're saying him and Castellanos are both in the MVP race.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now they're less talking about Winker and more talking about Castellanos.
Yeah.
But I don't think I think it's just because Winker has slumped. Not even slumped like real life.
Just for him.
But he's just not batting like out of his mind.
Right.
Anymore. He's kind of tapered off a little bit, but still,
he's been killing it though.
He's killing it, dude. And they're for the All-Star game, they're 2 of the top 3.
Yeah.
Besides homeboy from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Is that Acuna Jr. or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not close. I don't think we're gonna catch him in votes.
No.
When I last saw it, it was like a solid 300,000 behind at least.
Okay.
Or something
I haven't seen the votes, but I agree with you because I feel like Acuna gets more. Well,
I finally put my vote in. I put my votes in last night.
Okay.
I got my email, so I went and voted for all the Reds and all the Yankees because that's how I do.
My man, I'm not mad at that. I'm excited for the All-Star game.
But I'm excited for that as well. But I'd say Winker because definitely they're huge. India has been a pleasant surprise.
Yes, he has.
We've done this in spite of Suarez slumping like a dog.
Yeah.
Starting to come along a little better now. I think he was just in his own head because he was trying to learn shortstop.
Yeah, because he was slumping on the field as well.
Yeah, on the field, and I feel like that was affecting his bat.
I do too.
Because I feel like he was in his own head and he was worried about hurting the team.
Yeah, he was putting too much pressure on himself, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. Votto's been banging again this year, though.
Yes, he has. Then if I remember right, he started the season slow.
He did.
And then because all of a sudden I remember the game where he had his first home run, and it's like he's starting to get it. And the weird thing is he started slow, meaning he was hitting the bad spots. He had one of the fastest ball off a bat.
Oh, yeah.
But he was hitting it to the fielder.
He was making great contact. He was just right at somebody. So it wasn't like he's been aggressive. He's not been taking it. He's been aggressive at the plate, and he's going after it again.
Yeah.
He's being, and he said he was going to do that. And then he got hurt.
Yeah.
And he's came back, and since he came back, he immediately started banging again.
Which is nice, because wasn't it like a broken finger?
Yeah. So I was afraid that would take him time to get going again. No, he immediately came in and started banging again.
Oh, yeah, he did, which is great to see, because, not even a month ago, we were slumping as a team.
Yeah. And it could be a blessing in disguise long term, too, because he got some rest at his older age. Not that he's old, but, kill me saying that if you ever heard me. Not that he will, but.
Yeah.
And then also, he got to spend time in Louisville with some of the youngsters.
Yeah, that's true.
That's always good, when you get a chance, mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
They're not quite midseason, but into the season. And, not just in spring training when you're hanging out with the youngsters.
No, but like
in real game, real game scenarios, you're down there playing with them.
It reminds me of back in the day when I think it was when Manny Ramirez was with the Dodgers, and he went down to the minors for a little bit, which I can't remember exactly why because it feels like forever ago. But the point being, what you said, I felt like it rejuvenated him when he went down to, because like he got down with the young guys, and then he was like obviously a sellout because it's actually in where my cousin lives in Albuquerque. They have one of the Dodgers farm teams, and it was just like a huge deal. So I think it rejuvenates them. So like with Votto, I think the same thing. Being around those young guys, small, obviously it's a smaller market because it's not the major leagues, and just all right, let's.
Yeah, and all the fans love you down there. Not that all the fans up here love you, but when you're slumping, major league fans are hard on you.
Exactly.
But
when you're down there and you get like someone like a Votto, an ex-MVP player,
going to a smaller town that doesn't have a major league team,
that's a big deal.
Yeah. It's a big deal. So that, I think it's it could be a blessing in disguise. Plus, he got to work with some guys we might be calling up here. So
yeah,
some guys that we may have already called up here.
Yeah,
so that's worked out great for him. I'd say our pitching's not been great, but Sonny was doing well till he got hurt again.
Yeah, which is ironic because in our preview episode he was also hurt.
Yeah, our opening day starter Castillo.
Very rough start.
But his June's been really good.
Yeah.
He's got his ERA down, and he's winning. And
well, with Castillo, they were saying early in the season it was the cold weather. I think it was. Yeah. But then it got into his head, so he slumped through like May and stuff.
Yeah.
And then now he's like, no. And then he's starting to find his groove.
Yeah, I think he's finally finding his groove, which is what we need. It's perfect timing.
Yes, but how about Malley?
Malley's a stud.
Yes.
Yeah, he's our ace for sure.
He had the no-hitter a couple months ago.
Yeah, and he just keeps on grinding. Even today, like, he had a rough first 3 innings.
Yeah.
He had, like, 67 pitches through 3. And ended the day with 112, but he went 6 complete innings.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was... he grinded through a lot. But then he ended up having tying his career high in strikeouts for 12.
Yeah.
Having his season high in strikeouts, which was at 10.
Yeah, I was actually going to pull that up. You already said it. He had 12 strikeouts, and his season high pitch count as well.
Yes, it's season high because it was 103.
Yeah, today
I believe, and today was 112.
In your text that you sent to us, you had 107.
Oh, 107. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was 107 then.
And then, like you said, the strikeouts, the season high.
Yeah,
I mean, he's just killing it.
And even Wade Miley though. Like, he's been a solid number 2.
Yeah.
He's been surprisingly good and consistent.
Yeah.
Now, one person I'll say I miss who's killing it out there in San Francisco is Disco. That's Stefani.
Yeah.
He's a big reason that they're doing well.
Yeah.
He might be their ace. I don't know.
I was going to say, I thought he was.
Yeah, he might be their ace.
The Giants.
Because we could have kept him on the cheap, so that's kind of disappointing that we did not.
Yeah.
Keep him around. But I'm not going to dwell on it, but that would have been pretty cool to have.
Yeah.
But we had a couple young guys, and I can't place their names, but I mean, one that had his very first start last time he was up.
Yeah.
And another guy that's had a couple starts, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. I didn't learn their names still because
they're so fresh. But they looked good for being young.
Yes, they did.
So that's promising that maybe they can fill in for Sonny. And apparently Lorenzen's on his way back shortly.
Yeah,
and he'll be a big boost to the bullpen.
Yeah, he will.
He'll be like almost a mid-season acquisition because he was supposed to be in the starting rotation originally.
Yeah,
but now they're just talking about all bullpen, which is what we need the most of.
Yeah, we need the help there.
Because Garrett was supposed to be our closer, and that has not panned out.
Nope.
Now he's coming around lately. Like,
he looked good last night.
Yeah, last night he hit it out, and he just seems like he's settling in now.
Yeah, they said actually it's funny that you said that because I tuned into it last night, and when he came in, they were saying that Garrett, his problem is opposite of other players. He comes in too amped up.
Yeah.
And he's been calming himself down now.
Yeah.
Which is working.
Yes.
I like the amped upness, but not when you can't produce.
No, and I still wish he would have been our closer because I loved him in that role, but he just came in. Yeah, too wound up, I think, at what it was. He was in his own head the other way.
Right.
So he brings good energy to the team, though.
Oh, yeah. I do like that. And if we can clean up the bullpen situation and the pitching overall.
Well, now we got Lucas Oil Sims.
Yeah, yeah,
He's got 7 saves on the season.
yeah.
So I think he's now our closer, if you will, which
Yeah.
we've been kind of using makeshift closers, but I think he's kind of settling into that role.
Yeah, he seems to be.
Doolittle's good. He's a good setup man.
Yeah.
Another guy named, I forget his name, something with an H. But apparently he's been doing good. I don't think he started with us and started the season with us, but he's been brought up since, and he's been doing okay.
Is he a relief pitcher?
A relief pitcher,
Okay.
yeah. He pitched last night as well.
Oh, okay. I can't think of his name.
No,
I know who you're talking about.
Something with an H, but basically our bullpen's coming together.
Which is obviously what we needed, because when we went in that slump, the pitching especially was killing us, and then the bats went away.
Yeah, and I've even seen online, and this isn't any experts, it's just a page I follow on Facebook that's a Reds one, and they're asking if we should trade anyone for bullpen help.
Okay.
And I started to read the post until they start throwing to what I think is nonsensical names out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because one dude even said like Castellanos. I'm like, no, like, even though, because his point was we might not get him back next year. I'm like, yeah, but we need him this year if we want to win this. You only trade for bullpen if you're trying to win the whole thing.
Yes.
And you need your most valuable player to win the whole thing.
Well, and look what the Cubs did when they won a few years ago. They got Aroldis Chapman from the Yankees.
Yeah.
Where did Chapman end up the next year? Back in New York.
Yeah.
The Cubs saw their chance to win the World Series.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying we don't need bullpen help, but I think we'll get that in the name of like Lorenzen.
Yeah.
I think we got some young, scrappy guys that are coming up. There was one guy I texted about today. I forget his name already, but I texted the group about him, and I said that where did he come from? No one knows, but he seemed to be our savior the last 2 games.
I got you. That was Brad Brock.
Brad Brock.
Or Brack. I don't even know how to say it.
Brock. It is Brock.
Okay.
I remember him saying that, but I don't know where he came from. I mean, we picked him off free agency, but they even said in the game, like, he's basically like a scrap heap guy.
Can I say one thing about Lucas Oil Sims, by the way?
Correct.
I see it in the text here. You're like, you said, Brewers fan, you're a better batter than he's a pitcher. Sims strikes him out and stares down said fan as he walks off the field.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
That was hilarious. So
I wish I had seen it.
It was literally like right before he pitched, and he was clearly a Brewers fan. He's yelling at whoever the batter was, and he was just, like you said, like, hey, you're a better batter than he is pitcher.
Yeah.
And then he proceeded to strike him out. And what appeared, at least to me, is that he stared over at the fan.
Like,
because he was staring in the stands as he's walking off the field like, yeah, really, dude? Because he just dropped one.
Yeah, you want to say that again?
Yeah, because it was a nasty pitch, too. It just cut down to the ground, like, boom, and dude swung and, yeah.
That's what I like to see.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, bro, like, shut up.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, that's the moxie we need, though. Even when Barnhart hit in Votto to go ahead, Votto said, let's effing go.
That's our mantra.
Yeah. And then he was like, attaboy, attaboy. Like, he was
Yeah.
just yelling at Barnhart because Barnhart got a double, and then with the pass ball went on to third.
Okay.
So he was standing on third when he was going back, visiting. You're on the third base bullpen or third base dugout.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's walking right by Barnhart just yelling at him. And, like, you don't hardly see that out of Votto like that. He's usually the calm.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just the mantra this year. It's just the energy. It's the big.
Well, to tie it to game 2 of the whole season, the now famous Castellanos, he flexed over the Cardinals catcher.
Yeah.
Or not the catcher, the pitcher, and said, let's effing go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the story, or not the story, what happened was when Castellanos was off the bat, he got pegged.
Mm-hmm.
Did not care for it. And then he picked up the balls like,
yeah, I went to throw it back out.
yeah, you want this?
You need
or
this?
I
You
forget what
missing
he said.
something? Yeah, like,
and Molina's like, he, broke it up or whatever. And then, like, that dude, like, I think it was in his head. He started messing up. Long story short, Castellanos ended up on third due to, I think, some walks or hits or something. The pitcher threw a wild pitch. Castellanos stole home, and the pitcher tried to tag him out. It was like a real quick play. Landed on top of him. He got up, flexed over him, and was like, let's effing go. And then, of course, the Cardinals players
broke loose. Yeah,
they got all hurt about it. But that's been like the mantra, like what Brian's is saying too. Like, that's the mantra of the Reds now, and that's basically the saying.
And even Amir, when he had he got boisterous when he got an out a month ago or whatever, and got suspended for that or whatever.
You're right.
Yeah, because they came off the bench, which they didn't get in any trouble again. You know?
Manfred hates
that was the
Reds.
Cubs that time, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and the guy comes off the bench getting butt hurt, and somehow our guy gets suspended for that.
Yeah, yep,
It's
you're
like,
right.
what the hell, dude? And same with like Molina, didn't get in any trouble, but he's the one that
He
made
instigated
contact.
it. Yep, he made the contact.
He made contact, but Castellanos got suspended. So they're trying to screw us, and
I
they're
feel
still
like
not.
it. I feel like
what's
it.
what's the stats that we have here on the Reds? Do we mention that? Where the hell are these at in the damn page? You got them too, don't you? Oh yeah. So did we talk about that yet? 13 out of 16.
No, we did not talk about that yet.
So we've won 13 out of the last 16. We've won 6 in a row.
We're 8-2 in the last 10
Swept 3 of 4 series, including a 4-game series
against the Cardinals.
against the Cardinals
in St. Louis.
And another one was Brewers at Milwaukee.
Yep, that concluded today.
And that was 2 in a row sweeps, which the one before that was Colorado, but it's still a sweep at Colorado.
Yeah, and you still got to win those games.
And we have 8 straight road wins.
Yep.
So we're pretty much on fire right now going into San Diego.
Correct.
And
He's struggling right now. Like I mentioned before, they're 2-8 in their last 10.
Yeah. And Richard Myers had the audacity
The audacity.
and pick them to say the Padres are going to win that game.
Mr. You got to stick with your home team.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
always
gotta
root for
stick
my
your
home team.
Yeah, he's a Red Sox fan now. He's not even a Reds fan. He's gone.
He's a Red Sox / Padres fan.
He's been bad. I mean, I expect the shenanery out of Brandon.
Yeah.
I expect it out of Andy.
Yeah, them two, I expect it.
But I thought Richard was an adult. Obviously, he still needs to grow up.
All I know is he can't lecture us.
No lecture. I will hear nothing from him.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to come back and to pick him. No, not now. You pick against the Reds 2 weeks ago when we were slumping.
Yeah. Or
Now-
you pick against the Yankees because that's the other team we
Yeah.
always go with.
But you don't. Yeah, you don't pick against them now when they're hot.
I really don't understand that. Like
ridiculous.
all kidding aside or whatever. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Hottest team in
I
baseball.
don't know.
The
Like-
hottest team in baseball.
Like you said, if it was a few weeks ago, I understand because the Padres were playing good.
All jokes aside, the only little bit I can give them is that's a West Coast thing.
Correct.
You know, is that it's literally the West Coast trip, and that does scare me at times. But like,
Me too.
we're super hot right now.
And it did when I looked at the initial matchups for the week.
Yeah,
And then I started looking. Like I was gonna pick the Reds anyway. So
that's
one are
a
hot,
4.
but-
Is that? I think it's a 4-game set. If I do believe I'm correct
double
on that.
check. Let me pull up the Reds.
And I say that because I think Castillo is the 4th game, and he's going up against one of their studs. So it's like an ace-off, if you will.
right.
Because Mally's not. I think Mally would be starting the first game
Yeah. So
in Minnesota, scheduled at least, if all goes normal. Because I feel like it's what I saw is I thought it was Miley for game 1,
okay.
the 2 dudes we don't remember their names, and then Castillo for the 4th.
For the Sunday game,
Yeah, am I correct on that? It's 4 games.
you're correct.
Okay,
it's
good.
4 games. So we only get an off day for travel because we play San Diego tomorrow night.
Yeah,
We're out there, and then we go to Minnesota, your Minnesota Twins, for 2-game series, and then to wrap up the month of June. After we go to Minnesota, we come home and we have Atlanta in a 4-game.
okay.
Then we have Philly in a 1-game, and then San Diego comes here to end June and start July for a 3-game.
Okay, and quick question, going back to the San Diego series, which game is Pick'em for? Do you remember? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sundays?
Pick'em, I believe, is for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but let me go ahead and pull that up. For Pick'em, we did. Now you say that, ironically, we didn't do. I don't think we did all 4.
No, I think we did like 3 of the 4 or 2 of the 4.
Yeah, so we did not do tomorrow's.
Okay. So which one did Richard pick against? Was Friday night?
Yep.
Okay. So at least he didn't pick against Castillo or Miley.
Yeah, let me double check, Richard, but I'm pretty sure I remember he was the first one. You're like, what?
Yeah, I think that was the Friday
Yeah,
game.
18th.
Okay.
It's Friday.
So we'll have to keep a special eye on the Friday game.
Yes, we do.
A special eye on
And then
that.
blow up his phone.
Yes. FaceTime and all. But those are just some fun stats that we had.
Yeah.
Did we ever touch on the Baltimore stats, the 17 road losses?
No, we did not.
Just want to throw that out there since it's in the stat section of our notes here.
Yeah, I think we didn't really bring up a whole lot with Baltimore because they are so bad.
Yeah.
Granted, we did talk about other bad teams. For that reason, Baltimore kind of got snuck through.
But yeah, so Reds are good. Richard's no longer a fan of them.
Nope. Lost one of our
To
fans.
recap that, I guess he's off the wagon.
So, do you want to say who we went with to represent the National League then?
Oh, yeah. Let's proceed with that. That's a good call.
So, the general answer is we had 3 teams in the race for that. Where in the AL, we were all Yankees.
Yes.
NL, we were Braves, Dodgers, or Padres.
Correct.
Brian, who'd you go with?
I went with the Braves
Okay.
because they're supposed to easily win the East.
Easily. I went with the Padres, Richard's new favorite team.
Yes, his favorite team.
But we both, I believe, had the caveat, I know I did, of the Dodgers.
Yes. Because we both said if the Dodgers-Yanks play,
It'd be a 7-gamer.
it'd be 7-gamer.
Yeah. Now, if the Padres go, like my original prediction, if you will, I have the Yankees winning in 6.
Yes, and I had the Yankees in 5 against the Braves.
I'm not confident at this moment.
I'm not confident the Yanks are going to be correct.
Me neither.
Nor the Braves for me.
Me neither.
If I have to re-predict,
Yeah. What's your re-predict?
also let me hold on real quick before I re-predict. I want to throw in the playoff format.
Oh, yes. Please do. Because we did not.
Yeah, we messed up on that in the preview episode.
Right.
So 10 total teams make it. 5 from AL, 5 from NL. 3 division winners, 2 wild cards.
Okay.
The wild cards will play in a 1-game play-in game.
Okay.
So then if they win, they'll, whoever wins is the 4 seed, if you will, quote unquote.
Right.
They'll play the 1 seed and the 2 will play the 3. And then it goes on to the NLDS, which is best of 5.
Yes.
Then the NLCS / World Series are both best of 7s.
Yes. So I think some of the confusion came from the fact that last year, the infamous COVID season, they did all this like random stuff where like I think it was like 8 games per league made it.
Yeah,
and
they had like the best of 3 series and
Right.
whatnot. There's a bunch of weird stuff going on.
So that is why, at least speaking for myself, why I messed up my head on trying to remember how it even worked.
Yeah.
And then after looking into it just to verify, come to find out that basically the players union and the league didn't come to an agreement on any changes to the postseason format. So that could happen potentially here in the near future.
Yeah.
It's just I guess they ran out of time this year. I don't know. So, but yeah, so it's basically to the format it has been for at least a little bit. So basically we're going to have 5 teams per league, but obviously if you win the division, you're automatic shoo-in.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with that. I don't think you really need to expand more than that, though I feel they will.
I don't want to with baseball.
I don't either. I think they will expand.
Yeah, I do too because it's. I mean, I almost felt like that was their test last year.
Yes. Yes. So the prediction wise, I think I'm more confident in being the Dodgers from the NL now
Okay.
because the Braves haven't impressed me, and then the AL is a little more wide open. I picked the White Sox to play the Yankees in the ALCS.
Yeah.
I more and more think might be Oakland though.
So you're thinking Oakland versus LA,
Yeah, like a West
the
Coast.
California series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with similar to you. I went with Chicago versus LA.
Yeah. And I would say I'm not super confident.
Yeah, dude, I mean, looking at
But
this,
I'm not super confident in any combination of those.
I'm not either. I'm looking at this, and this is based off a third of a season. Because even in the NL now, I'm like, I don't think San Francisco is going to hold on. I think LA is going to do it. I think the Central's going to beat each other up. I think the East is weaker than the rest.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with Chicago versus LA right now. LA is going to win it in 6.
Mm-hmm. I'll do Oakland and LA in 5.
Okay.
But that's for now. It'll change next time we do one of these recaps, though.
Your prediction reminds me of, remember, I think it was like the 2000 World Series or something, the Subway Series.
Oh,
Mets
yeah.
versus Yankees.
Yeah.
The rest of the country's like, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, it'll be a West Coast. That's why I'm not rooting for that one, and I'm not confident that that will happen. But because obviously the one I'm rooting for is Cincinnati to make it.
the Red Legs.
Yep. But I'd like to just see new teams in general. So
Yeah.
I'm just rooting against the Dodgers. because they're not a new team.
They've been in it so much lately.
Yeah, I'd rather see San Fran or really San Diego for that matter.
San Diego would be, because San Fran, I still have the memories of not that long ago them being in it all the time.
So I'd like to see San Diego if you go from the West and the NL. Obviously Cincinnati from the Central.
Yeah.
I would like to see Atlanta just because that was part of my prediction, and out of the teams over there, I probably like them the best. Not that I really like any of the East teams that much.
Yeah, I'm looking at them like, because in the past when I was a kid, I hated Atlanta.
Me too.
Now I don't really care.
I just don't really like the Mets owner.
Yeah, I remember yours was more ownership with that.
Because Philly, I could always just live without.
Yeah, Philly, they annoy me.
And Washington, I don't know. I think they've just won too much lately.
Washington's a boring team. Like
I guess if I were to strictly root for a team in the East, it'd probably be Miami.
So
but they have no shot.
Yeah, so you're already out.
Yeah. Now, in regards to the AL, of course, I'm rooting for the Yanks.
Yeah.
The Central, I'd probably be rooting for Kansas City or Minnesota.
I'm rooting for the White Sox, but you know why.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going for my prediction, it would be Minnesota. But just general liking of the team.
Yeah.
I like Kansas City, Minnesota, and Cleveland.
Yeah.
I've never liked the White Sox that much, and I really don't like Detroit.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Cleveland, especially since they lost that series against the Cubs a few years ago.
Yeah.
Kansas City, I like.
And then the West Coast, the AL West, liking teams-wise, I probably like L.A., probably Anaheim the most, and then I like Texas, but they suck real bad.
Yeah.
The only one I really don't like Oakland, and I don't really like Houston.
I hate Houston.
Now I'm rooting for Oakland this year because they're new.
Right.
And I hate Houston because of the cheating.
Correct.
But I've been very indifferent about the AL West, though, over the years.
Me too. Like, I used to root for Seattle, but that was back when Griffey played, so that was 2 decades ago.
And the only hatred I have for Oakland makes no sense because when we were a kid, we played them in the World Series.
I was wondering if that was why.
Yeah, but we swept them, so it's not like they beat us. That
was over 30 years ago.
Yeah, but it just stuck with me of why I kind of never liked them, I guess.
That's what I was thinking, because that's the only reason for me.
But that's really it. We're at 1 hour 2 minutes now.
Oh.
Just so you're in the loop on that.
Yeah.
So I guess we should get to wrapping it.
I think so. I think we covered it pretty well. I say we're probably doing, a C- so far? We got some right, some wrong.
Yeah, we're passing.
Maybe better C-. Maybe a C.
No. Yeah, I'd say a C because it's hard.
Yeah.
Give us the curve a little bit.
Yep.
But all right, sorry for the technical difficulty earlier.
Yeah.
Not sure what happened there, Kevin. And
yeah, nice try, Kevin.
I guess we're done. Are we done?
Yep. Diamondbacks suck.
They do suck.
All right.
All right. See y'all next time.
See you later.